Welcome to the Amberly Lago Show, stories of true grit and grace. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, I'm trying this again. So I wanted to do an episode for you about resistance, and my internet has cut out. We lost electricity, and thank goodness we have a generator. And yesterday I had to have like an unexpected, a surprise visit to my doctor. I wasn't expecting that, but look, we've got internet now, we've got power, and I got some antibiotics, and so I'm doing better. So I'm going to be doing great because you know what? Our Unstoppable Success Summit is in 2 days. That's right. And I just have learned that whenever you're going after your big dreams, if you've got like really big dreams or you're doing something really important, resistance will always come. You've probably felt that moment when everything feels like it's going against you. And maybe it's the doubt. Maybe it's the unexpected roadblocks that would also make you wonder. I don't know if you've ever wondered this, like you've got that dream and you're thinking, well, maybe this dream just wasn't meant for me. I've definitely been there. And I've learned that in that moment, it's when you decide to rise. And, I read this quote the other day. Oh, it says, some days will bring you peace. Some days will give you wisdom. Other days will ask you to fight for the life you want. Show up for all of them. So I wanted to just do a quick episode for you today. If you're feeling resistance, that I wanted to remind you, it's a time to lean in. It's not a reason to stop. And I want to talk about, when the pressure's on and everything feels like it's just pushing back and it's hard. I want to give you 3 powerful truths to hold on to when it seems like everything's going wrong, and how to keep going anyway, how to become unstoppable in those moments when that resistance, the doubt, the fear, the roadblocks come up. And so I want you to remember this. First of all, resistance is a sign, but it's not a stop sign. In fact, I think that when you're in fear about anything, that it's a sign that you need to run towards that fear. It means that you're growing. The moment you take that bold step towards your dreams, there's a lot of things that will try to keep you small, will try to stop you. And whether that is outside circumstances, where it's outside, people who maybe don't believe in your dream, it's not up to them. It's up to you to see your big vision. And, the fear, procrastination, and imposter syndrome, if you're anything like me, oh my gosh, those things come roaring in. I mean, the fear and, my self-talk of, oh my gosh, Amberly, what are you going to say on stage? My assistant, Trinity, goes, uh, Amberly, what are you going to wear? Are you just going to go on stage naked? And I was like, oh yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to wear. I've been coaching my mastermind members to get on stage and share their talks. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to say on stage. But you know what? It can all these things, the fear, the doubt, it can all feel like the world or life is saying no. But here's the truth. Resistance isn't a red light. It's actually a green light that you are growing. Look, think about it. When you work out, your muscles resist. It burns, especially when you're doing leg extension or squats. It's uncomfortable. But that's how we get stronger. And the same goes for everything that you're going through. I feel like it's everything that we're growing through. So when things are feeling heavy, when they're feeling really hard, don't retreat. Keep going. Lean in. You're not being rejected. You're being refined. The resistance, that's just proof that you're stepping into your next level. I remember, gosh, it was 2 years ago for the Unstoppable Success Summit. It was in Raleigh, and my husband, he's healthy as can be, had to have an emergency surgery. And it was a week before the summit that I was flying out. Well, the surgery was taking an hour, then 2 hours, then 3 hours, then 4 hours. I'm like, what the heck is going on? He gets out he gets out of surgery, and the doctor comes over and says, I'm sorry, we've had some complications. We need to get him back into surgery. And I thought, oh my goodness, I was kind of flipping out. I was like, out of all the times for him to have surgery, and he has been there for every single surgery of mine, 34 surgeries. I am supposed to fly out for this event. All the speakers are booked. And then in this year, I had 22 speakers for the Unstoppable Summit. And my mastermind members were so awesome. They're like, Amberly, you just stay there and take care of your husband. We will, we got this. We will run the show for you, which I thought that's the kind of women they are. They're amazing. And my husband actually said to me, this is called unstoppable. You are not going to stop now. And so lean into that resistance. There is always another way. My mom actually ended up helping him, was at the hospital with him. I went to the event. We did a live and got to send a message out to him. And it was an incredible faith filled event. And I felt like the Holy Spirit was there with us. So, number two, your detour might be the shortcut. I think a lot of times we think of detours as like, oh my gosh, this is going to take longer. I'm lost. And I know it's frustrating when the timing's off. I was even frustrated yesterday when I didn't have internet, and then I lost power, that I couldn't post. I was like, I need to post about the event. I need to do a post on social media, and I can't even post. I can't even respond. And I was getting frustrated. But you know what? When plans fall off, or when you hear no more, or when you hear no more times than you can count, it's honestly, it's easy to feel like you're falling, or you're falling behind. But so often everything is falling into place. And those detours, they're divine. I mean, they are making, you going down a road that you never imagined. When I had to go to the doctor yesterday, I thought, oh, well, this sucks. This is a detour in my day. This is not planned. This is throwing me off. Well, guess what? The receptionist is ending up, she's coming to the Unstoppable Success Summit. If I wouldn't have gone to the doctor, I wouldn't have met her, and she wouldn't be coming to the summit. So every door closed, every delay, it might actually be rerouting you to something even better, something that is more aligned. Maybe it's something more impactful, more fulfilling than you've ever imagined. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and every decision we make, from a little decision from point A to point B, all lead you to exactly where you were supposed to be. So the next time something doesn't go your way, don't spiral. Think of it as it is working for you, not against you. And, this is what I always ask myself. What is this trying to teach me? Or you can even ask yourself, what's the gift in this delay? You're not off track. You're just being redirected. What's the gift in this delay? And you know what? Sometimes I really believe the long way around is the fastest way to grow into the person that your dream requires. Sometimes we want that dream. I don't know about you, but delayed gratification for me is sometimes hard. I can be impatient. It's a defect of mine. And I have to really, really try to work on that. But I just have to remember that everything happens for a reason. It puts us on the path that we are supposed to be on. And so just remember, all the dreams that you have, they require everything that you're going through to grow through. And number three, I want you to remember you're built for this. I want you to remember that you have everything inside of you already. It's already there. And it's just waiting for you. So when those self-doubts creep up, when something tries to stop you, remember you have everything inside you to go after your big dreams. And you know what? Let me say this real super clear for you. Storms don't show up in your life to break you. They show up to reveal you, to remind you of what you're made of. When things, when they feel like they're falling apart, they might be just falling into place. And that fire you've been walking through, oh my goodness, I feel you on that. it's forging your resilience. It's where resilience is born. It is where grit is developed. And I always say, when you've got grit, there is no quit. And, any setback, well, it's just sharpening your vision. It's getting you super clear on that vision. And I want you to hold on to that vision and trust the process. You weren't given this dream to tease you. You were given this dream because you already have everything inside you to bring it to life. So don't give up. Don't give up now. I want you to reach out to your people. Yesterday when I was going through that, I was like, it was laughable to me. I was like, okay, well, we don't have power. Oh, well, now we don't have internet. Yeah, I got to go to the urgent care. My regular doctor can't even see me. So I'm going to go to the urgent care. I sat in the parking lot because you have to scan a code to the urgent care to make your appointment. And I sat in the car and I texted my friend Brooke and I was like, yep, Brooke, well, it's laughable. Here the resistance comes. And I just kind of, I kind of expect it. And it also, to me now, instead of getting frustrated with that, I'm just like, oh, well, it is what it is. And I guess I'm on the right path. Because you know what? God's going to be in that room. The Holy Spirit's going to be in that room. And the devil doesn't like that. So I'm just going to say, not today, Satan. Not today. So don't give up now. Reconnect to your why. Why did you start? Why are you doing the things that you are doing? And I want you to remind yourself of things that you have already overcome. You were built for this. And so, if you are feeling the weight of resistance right now, I just want you to hear this. You're not behind. You are not off course. And you know what? You are definitely not alone. I feel you on this. I get it. And when it's hard, and especially when it's hard, because the dream in your heart, I don't want you to give up when it's hard, because that dream in your heart was placed there on purpose and you are unstoppable. And I just did a post on Instagram and I want to read some of it to you. So just as a reminder, when you feel like you're headed into a battle, I want you to visualize success. And these are things that help me focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. So I want to share with you the prayer that gets me through lots of struggles. And it doesn't matter if it's a health struggle, or it's an internet struggle, it's a relational struggle. It's the serenity prayer. And it says, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I say that prayer every morning, every night, and sometimes often throughout the day. And I want you to remember, when you fail, find the lesson in it, and then remember all the times that you have succeeded. Stop beating yourself up. Remember all the hard times that you've been through, all the hard things that you've overcome, how many times you've succeeded, and then move on. When self-doubt creeps up or it creeps in, immediately nip it in the bud. Replace it with positive thoughts. I mean, immediately nip it, flip the script. Another thing I just posted on Instagram: when you encounter adversity, don't just face it, but embrace it. Remember, it's not a dead end, but a detour, something bigger and better. And then when you feel lost, pray for guidance. I have a little frog on my desk that reminds me to fully rely on God. And you know what? When you really feel like it's impossible, remember that with God, all things are possible. And I want you to remember, you are unstoppable. It's okay when we fall or fail. It just means we get back up. And thank you for being here with me. If this spoke to your heart, share it with a friend, share it with somebody who might need it too. We all go through struggles, and I want you to check on your strong friends, because those strong friends are often the people that don't reach out, and they try to hold it all together for their families or their team, or out there, even if they're posting things on social media. Go check on your strong friends. And don't forget, your breakthrough could be just one step past that resistance. So keep going. You got this. Thank you for tuning into the show, and I will see you next week.